Welcome students of Form 3 and possibly Form 5. In the former videos I've already explained a lot why it could also be Form 5, and this is a video connected to the CXC program and really connected to my capacity as a job at the Sky CSEC school, more or less the Sky CSEC or the Sky Pre-University HAVO school. Yeah, so it connects to those capacities. When we're talking about the second video about the relationship between citizens, ciudadano, and gobierno, government. The relationship between citizens and government. We're talking about that. And the learning outcome is, I will go through it a bit faster than in my former videos, describe the connection between citizens and governments as stated in the Constitution. And I hope you see the link between the topic of this part 10 of chapter 3 at page 56 in your Social Studies CSEC book, Social Studies for CSEC, page 56, as you can see here, very clearly taken in front of you. That will be very helpful, so you can look in the book and it keeps you focused about what we're talking about. And the learning outcome is describe the relationship between citizens and government as it is stated in the Constitution. We talked in part 1 about the Constitution and how important it is to limit the power of government, among other things. And we're now going to talk about, coming from that Constitution, talking about democratic government, an authoritarian government, and the rights and freedoms of people within a democratic government. So the rights and freedoms of people within a democratic government. And so let's begin with that democratic government. The system of government in Commonwealth Caribbean countries, in other words also the British speaking Caribbean Commonwealth Caribbean countries as they exist at this moment still, is democratic. What does that mean when it's democratic? In the democracies, citizens are allowed to put themselves forward as parliamentary candidates, so candidates for parliament, parliamentary candidates. Yeah, parliamentary. I wanted to check in the book. So parliamentary candidates, that actually means that you can be a member of a party and the party can decide to put you on the candidate list, and then you become, as it were, a parliamentary candidate. Yeah, so you are allowed to put yourself forward as a parliamentary candidate and to vote for the representatives from at least 2 competing parties. And vote in what kind of way? Freely. So it means that it is up to you freely to make that vote. You cannot be forced to vote for anybody. It has to be freely. So in a democracy, citizens are allowed to put themselves forward as parliamentary candidates, allowed to put yourself forward as a parliamentary candidate, you guys too, and freely vote for the representatives from at least 2 competing parties. Those parties compete with each other for, okay, who's going to have the most votes in parliament. Citizens, ciudadano, can also criticize, not elect, I knew it wasn't that. Criticize the government means that if the government does anything that you don't agree with, you can also criticize them. It's a very important freedom of opinion that you have, that you are allowed to criticize the government and challenge its decisions if you don't agree, as well as being consulted in consultations, or better put, involved in Bolbi, as well as being involved, in Dutch we say betrokken in Bolbi, drinkpapiamentu, involved in consultation. So within those 4 years, the government might ask you to give your opinion on certain matters. Very short, you might remember the issue with Playa Lagoon. They want to build a lot of concrete structures there, and they want to completely modernize it without leaving anything of the old charm of Playa Lagoon. And the people in the neighborhoods around Lagoon protested against this, and the government, meaning Prime Minister Gilmar Pisas, went to speak, went to consult, involve themselves with the people living in the neighborhood, and they changed their plans. So also, it's normal in a democracy to involve citizens in consultations concerning certain topics. Yes, so we talked about this. And in a democratic government, you have certain freedoms, but you also have certain rights. A rights is something that you're like allowed to do always, and a freedom is also like in the same line, but you're also free to do this. Yeah. So right, freedom, yeah, they're not exactly the same, but more or less they look alike. So 3 examples each. You have a right to liberty, so the government cannot constrain you into your lifestyle choices or your opinions or what you believe in. You have a right to liberty. Until you're 18 years old or sometimes 16 years old, you have a right to education and you have a right to vote. In Curacao, each 4 years, you have a right to vote for a certain party. Freedoms, like the word says, you are free to do certain things. You are free, freedom of conscience. That means that your opinions, your ideals, your values, bo valornan, bo fe, bo religión, vota libre ding bo fe, vota libre ding bo religión, vota libre ding bo scoge ding bo viva. You're free in your choices in your life. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So you're free to give your opinion, and there are also some other rights and some other freedoms that you can look at into this social studies book. Important point is that the democracy is not voting each 4 years. It's also about the constitution, and the constitution guarantees certain freedoms and certain rights that people have. They have the right to those, and you cannot take those away from people. You have no right. Then going from a democratic government and belonging freedoms and rights, we're going to talk about an autocratic or an authoritarian government, better put. So an authoritarian government, authoritarian government, an authoritarian government. So it means there's an authority figure, one person or a group, small group of persons who dominantly, forcefully leads the country. Let's look at that. Authoritarian government. An authoritarian government is one in which decisions are made by an individual person or by a small group within government. So decisions are made by an individual person or by a small group. So when we think about authoritarian government, we think about Maduro in Venezuela or Kim Jong-un or North Korea, or in the past, Hitler or Stalin during the Second World War and just before that. We often only see the person, but often they have also a small group of authoritarian leaders around them. The decisions are made by an individual person or by a small group within government, and they solely, without asking the citizens their input, without involving the citizens, without looking at the constitution, without looking at freedoms or rights, they make decisions. Citizens, ciudadano, do not have an opportunity, una oportunidad, to involve themselves, to consult in government decisions. And the word that is used in the book is take part or participate. So the government decisions are made solely by those in power, that small group, or that individual person. So citizens do not have an opportunity to be involved in government decisions. Opportunity to participate is not there, but is solely made by an individual person or by a small group. Decisions can be made without the knowledge or consent of citizens. And consent meaning that you actually agree what the government decides. That's actually consent. You can agree with what somebody else does or what the government does. And that actually is what consent is. Yeah? And decisions can be made without the knowledge, conocimiento, or consent of the citizens. So decisions can be made again without the consent or knowledge of the citizens, and citizens do not have an opportunity to participate in government decisions. So I hope you see the structure here. The idea here is that you do not really, often you fake it, you fake elections, you fake consultations, but in the end, finally, de laster, tem de lastro momento, mi no sa esse que ora esse que dá uma palavra de pavimento, pero por fin, finally, it's not possible for citizens to really participate in decision making, and the citizens do not give their consent in the decisions that the authoritarian government makes. I hope this part is clear for you now too. If it wasn't, you can just read it through in this book, Social Studies for CSEC, at the bottom of page 56. I hope this video is clear for you, and enjoy your morning, afternoon, or day. And like always, I hope to see you during class. And like always, my final word during a video is goodbye.